Hi everybody, thanks for checking out my review for this Maxesla portable LED projector. This is a great little projector, so I decided to throw a video up. I've actually purchased a few Maxesla products in the past. I purchased a couple Android boxes and I was really impressed with them, so I decided to pick this up when I was looking for something that I needed to take on a trip. And this is perfect. You can see the size of it is pretty small. It's very compact, very easy to take with you. But the real reason that I got it is because it actually has Android built into it, which is super cool to me. It came with Netflix and with Kodi pre-installed, YouTube, all of that. It has Wi-Fi built into it so you can stream. I'll give you some examples of those working here after I show you the box. But I want to show you what comes in the box. You have this little AV connector, so you can plug in old school stuff if you have it. It has this foot here that screws in on the bottom, and this is just to prop up the front. But what's really cool is this is actually, this bolt, or that screw hole, is actually the exact same size as a hot shoe for a camera mount. So you can mount this little projector onto a normal tripod, which I think is awesome. So I'm going to show you how that works here in a little bit as well. The power cord plugs in right there. You got an Ethernet. I like that it has an IR port on the back, but also on the front. Makes it nice so that you can always get the remote, because it does come with the remote. You can see I haven't really used it. I used this little wireless remote here. But then on the side here you have your USB, and this is what I think is awesome too. This is an output. So one of the things that I wanted to do was to be able to plug my phone into this using an HDMI cable, because it has the HDMI. Well, to do that with a phone, you actually have to have a 5-volt out, and so that has it built in here. So I'm going to show you that that works as well. Plug a phone directly into the projector, and then of course you have your, this is where you plug your AV right there, and then you have your headphones. It has 2 built-in speakers. They're about what you would expect for something like this. Very much designed, I think, for presentations rather than maybe movie watching. You can definitely watch movies on it, but they're not the greatest sounding, so I'll probably just plug in some bookshelf speakers. To use it, you take off this cap here. This front one right here adjusts the focus. This back one here adjusts the keystone. So I think that's one of the limiting factors of this projector, is that the keystone adjustment, it doesn't have a ton of keystone. So if you're really at a high angle, you might still have a little bit of a warped picture, but probably shouldn't be too big of a deal. Also, what I did notice is that when you are trying to focus this, you really need to make sure this keystone is correct. If the keystone's off, you'll have blur on the top or the bottom. So you set the keystone and then set the focus, and you'll be good. It's actually got pretty darn good quality. It can upscale to 1080p, I think is what it is, but it's 480 by 720 natively, which for DVDs is perfect. That's what I'm going to use it for. I ripped all my DVDs and run it through Kodi, so that's what I wanted to use this thing for. So it's a great little projector. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off all the lights and set it up so you can see. I do want to mention this is a 1500 lumen projector. If you look at most of them this size, they're 900 lumen, which means that you will be able to see this in a little bit more light than you would with some of the other projectors, and that was one of my big draws to it. So without further ado, let's get it set up and I'll give you some demonstrations. All right, and so we're all connected here. I want you to see that it's running here. I can kind of see it's on my tripod. There, that's a little better. And it mounts really awesome just on the stock hot shoe, so that was perfect. And I'll show you the apps here in a minute. But I noticed some other people, some other reviewers did some videos of that, so I just wanted to show you something a little different, and that is that I'm actually running this on my phone connected there through the HDMI cable, which is awesome that it actually has the power out, 5-volt out USB port built into this projector, because that's what the HDMI cables require for these phones. But let's go ahead and show you that it's working. If I can get my phone to focus. Full screen, there we go. So you can see it's actually pretty darn good quality. Well, you can see if I'm not clicking buttons, there we go. So what I want to do, I'm going to just turn the sound off so that I can talk to you for a second here. Because what I noticed is the focusing on this is a little bit tricky. The key is getting the keystone right. So I showed you how to adjust the keystone in the video. Make sure that that's adjusted right, because otherwise you'll see, like right there on the bottom or on the top, you'll see some of it is blurry. So if the keystone's adjusted exactly how it should be, then you'll get a clear picture throughout. Otherwise, you might have some spots that are a little blurry. So adjust the keystone, then adjust the focus, and you'll be good. This is pretty impressive, actually running straight from a phone just plugged into this projector. You can hear also the projector by itself is quiet. Let me be quiet here so you can hear. I'm going to stand right next to the projector. It's very, very quiet. So it sounds almost like a hard drive running. So that's nice. The speakers underneath, they're decent. I mean, it's kind of what you would expect from a mobile projector. It definitely will get the point across if you're giving a presentation, which I think a lot of this is for. You can also clearly watch movies or videos like I'm doing now. So what I want to do now is go ahead and run you through some of the apps. So I'm going to pause and I will be right back with you. All right, so you can see this is the main menu here. Sorry, that was my finger. These are the apps that come built into it. You have access to the Play Store to download some more. It runs Android 4.4, so you might have an issue with some of the newer apps, like the newer version of Kodi does not support 4.4, but I'll go ahead and load into here just so you can see that that's running. That was kind of important to me because I ripped all of my DVDs to a hard drive, and so that's what I wanted to be able to run with this. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of this. Where is it? There's the quit. And we'll show the other one that was really important to me, which is Netflix. I'm using that little keyboard I showed you here. So I'll have a little cursor, and we'll just make this run here. This is Parks and Rec, because I love Parks and Rec. I'm running on my own Wi-Fi right now through the projector, which I think is amazing. The only problem is my Wi-Fi is terrible. So it might take a second here to load. That happens to me whether I'm on this or a different computer. So we'll give it just a second and I'll be right back with you. You can see the quality is quite nice. It's really not, I mean, it's not 1080p, but it's definitely clear enough to see. I'm actually really impressed for the size. All right, let me turn that down so you can hear. All right, so the issue that I was having is that when I would push play, it would play for a second and then cut off. So what I did to fix it is I actually logged in. Let me see over here. I logged in through the browser. So I just went to Netflix, and hold on one sec. Let me switch hands. Trying to do this. I used my tripod for the projector, so this is a little bit more difficult here. So I'm going to type in Netflix. And when you log in, it gives you the option to just push play here to use the app. So basically, that's what you do. So it comes in, you tell it to log in, and then it says, do you want to complete with the browser or do you want to complete with the app? And I told it the app, and it worked. So I'm going to give it one more chance here, typing one-handed, and it is not easy. So let's see, N-E, Netflix. So maybe login, perhaps. Oh, let's do this. I'm going to search, just start completely fresh. All right, hold on one sec. I need two hands. I'll be right back with you. All right, okay. So when you type in netflix.com, it'll ask you to log in. When you try to log in, as soon as you push login, this will pop up for you, and it'll say complete with the browser, complete with Netflix, the app that's already installed. And then I just did just once, and then it brings you over to the app. And from that point on, it worked just fine. So I don't know what that was exactly. Here, I'm going to get out of here. Typed in Nebraska because I only had one hand. So the problem that I'm running into, and it's not a huge problem, but just to kind of a heads up, is that this version of Android is probably from Japan or China. And so Netflix is super picky, and it's the only app that I've had an issue with, but Netflix is really picky about what they let you install. So even if your device is rooted, they won't let you install Netflix. So it comes pre-installed, but you can't update it from the Play Store. So that was the issue that I had. As far as YouTube was another problem, but that was super easy to fix. I just downloaded from the Play Store, and erase the one that came natively. So I'm going to show you that that works just fine. If my internet will work. So there you go. Let's search. We'll just do my same Jimmy Fallon as last time, see, because that's probably up there. You can see me trying to type. There's like 900 different misspellings. And let's do, I don't know. Whatever. We'll just click one of these and go full screen. So you can see the quality is really nice. This is an ad. But you can see the YouTube app is working just fine. So I know the other reviews kind of showed them getting into the apps, and I wanted to show the apps actually functioning because that's more important. And every now and again there are some glitches in Android, any of the systems, and this is super choppy, but that's because I need to let it buffer because my internet's terrible. But anyway. So all you have to do for the YouTube, download from the Play Store. That's already built in here, and that works fine. Netflix was that one weird glitch that I happened to find. I don't think other people are having the same problem that I did with Netflix, but if you do have the problem, now you know how to fix it. So the Disney Junior, Disney, those ones worked just fine. Kodi, like I showed you, works fine. You can see that the operating system itself, the user interface, is actually really smooth. Everything runs nicely. It's got plenty of RAM to nicely and smoothly move along. The browser works just fantastically. So this is actually a really, really impressive little projector, especially for the size. I mean, look at the size of that thing. It's so small. It's super easy to use, very lightweight, very quiet. The quality is great for what it is. Just know what you're expecting when you're don't expect 1080p, expect what you're paying for. So the price is great as well for what you're getting. I think you get a lot of bang for your buck. It's pretty awesome to have a projector that has a built-in operating system. I think that's super convenient. So I give this thing 5 stars. All right, so I realized that when I was showing you YouTube before, I didn't have the quality set up very high, so I was kind of doing you a disservice. So this is Jimmy Fallon streaming straight from YouTube to the projector. You can see the quality is actually really good. The quality is set on 720, which is the highest that they uploaded it on. So yeah, I just wanted to show you some of the actual quality from the video or from the projector, and it is really, really impressive.